Okay, everybody. So today, this week, I'm going to talk about vegetable oil. I mentioned about how so many products have the chemicals and stuff in it. I did a little bit more research on listening to a podcast of it's how I gather most of my information. It's a trusted source. So I actually wrote some stuff down so I give a little bit more into it. Okay, so it's vegetable oil. So vegetable oil is it covers all oils that are not animal product. So they're not all bad, but most of them that are in the supermarkets in your products that you buy are. So you want to be reading the label, and then after you see vegetable oil, you want to go through and see what the actual vegetable is that they're using. Let me just flip a couple pages here because I kind of did it out of text. And then, so you're going to hear what the seeds are that are bad, because there is like coconut, there's peanut oil, there's olive oil, which olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, it has to be extra virgin, because if it's not, then it's not as good. It is better than these oils that you're going to hear about, but there's coconut oil too and stuff like that. But there is what they call the dirty eight. This is research that hasn't even made it through the medical field yet. It's been proven. It's just it takes up to 20 years for it to get from the research phases of it to the actual medical field through into being how do you say, legalized or certified or whatever. So the eight big seeds that most of our stuff is made out of in the grocery stores in products is corn, canola, and cottonseed. Cottonseed's not really something that's in our food anymore. It was one of the first oils that was invented. These are all oils from these seeds that are invented. They're not natural oils in the corn or stuff like that. They're just invented. So then the next three are soy, sunflower, and safflower. And then there's rice bran and grape seeds. So there's a big kick about grape seeds and all these other seed oils. They're all really bad for you. They're not good. And what happened was in the late 1800s or stuff like that, they how these are still in the food system is because they're grandfathered in. There was no authority or FDA or any kind of safety procedures in place when they were brought in, and they were just all in. And because of that, they've never been researched until the last 20 years, and it's still, the research has just been verified and stuff like that. So they got grandfathered in. And so just to show you how there was no safety, back in the late 1800s, they actually were allowed to put borax in dairy milk, in case the cows pooped in it on the way when they were milking the cows, if it was going bad, going sour, stuff like that. They were allowed to put borax in it, and it would make it look clear and still good, but it was like still already rotted, or there was bacteria and stuff in it, and the borax was there to make it look good. So this is the study, and this is documented in the American journals and stuff like that. So 30% of American and Canadian and basically Western diets, 30% of your average daily calories come in ultra processed foods, which have these horrible oils in. And once I go through some of it and explain it, you'll hopefully see that nobody should be eating this stuff. And we are. And I'll go through that. And then of the fat calories. So there's good fats and bad fats, and these are bad fats, but 80% of them are from these. And they're all in the ultra processed foods. Like I said, things with 4 or about 5 to 6, anything more than 6, 7, 5, 6, 7 ingredients most likely has this in. Some may not. But so 60% of the adult diet consists of ultra processed food. And I'm for the children, and that's why this is so serious, because 67.5% of a child's diet is ultra processed food, which is ridiculous. Let's see, yeah, so 80% of have it. Basically, if it has a label on it, it might not if it's under 5 ingredients or 6 ingredients, but if it's got more, it's probably got some kind of vegetable oil in it. Like I said before, not all vegetable oils are bad, so if you're buying organic, you just got to make sure you read through and see that it's a healthy oil, like avocado oil or something like that, or coconut, or even peanut butter oil is good. It's better. Olive oil is the best, extra virgin olive oil. Just a quick point, I tried to write these notes, so I was going to read them off, but I just think of stuff like I said before. There is olive oil out there. You can go to the grocery store and buy olive oil. It's just called olive oil. If you're buying that, it's not great. It's the byproduct of extra virgin olive oil. It's the extras. It's crap. There's not as many regulations. Extra virgin olive oil has very high standards. Like there's no cheating on extra virgin olive oil. If you see it in a clear jar, even if it is, because there is companies in the States that are actually making extra virgin olive oil. I've seen it in the grocery stores. If it's in a clear jar, it's not good, because all oils are can't have oxidization or light and stuff like that. So, let's see here. I'm just gonna read. So this is how bad it is when it starts. So like when they extract it from the corn or the soy or the grape seeds, because corn and soy are good for you, if you eat them regularly. Like if you're just eating the corn and the soy, it's actually decent for you. It's good for you. But it's when they go through this process, it's the actual processing to make oil. Like these are made oils, and I don't even understand it. So basically, after they're extracted, it is crude oil. It's not the exact same. It's a different product, but it's crude oil, and the processing is actually more. There's more actual processing to make it so you actually can put it into your body, like to even be able to handle putting it in your body. The research shows that if you were to actually take, and before they actually process it through and take and the crude oil of this stuff, if you were to even smell it, it would burn your nose. If it got into your eyes, just the fumes got into your eyes, it would burn your eyes and you'd start crying, just like pepper spray. It's that bad. And then somebody would literally have to be holding, it's so bad, it's so nasty smelling and stuff. Somebody would literally have to put a gun to your head to make you drink some of it. If you even still would, you might, it's from what I've understood with the podcast and stuff from the doctor that's done this research on this stuff. And she's a credible doctor. She's actually got many books out. And at the end of this video, I'll try to remember to say her name and the book that's out. But if you were to actually drink this stuff, it would literally burn your lips, your nose, your nose, your whole insides. It would burn your throat all the way down to your stomach. It would burn your stomach. And you would almost guaranteed throw it back up, because the body would recognize it's poison, it's toxin, it should not be in the human body. It kind of smells okay when you're smelling it now, but it's because your nose doesn't even know what it is because of our evolution. Our body just is not used to smelling what this stuff is. So, like I said, it would make you throw it back up. Let's see here. Okay, so yeah, it gets refined just like crude oil, and it actually gets a few more steps in it. So same, the oil that goes into your car, this stuff is refined in almost the same kind of process. A few more steps just to make it seem like it's okay to eat, but it's still toxic. It is literally toxic. There's nothing else in the food supply that is this toxic before it's processed. Some of the refining is deodorization, bleaching, degumming, waxing, washing, just to remove the solvents and stuff. They say a lot of different terms is, oh, I need it for high heat burn point and stuff, and that's totally false. Basically, if it's that way, that means it's even more refined. So basically, they're taking anything that was good in it out of it. So like proteins and stuff like that. That's what makes everything burn, right? So they're taking all that stuff out. Let's see. Kind of went through that part kind of backwards. So with the research that this lady's done for one of her books that she has out, she's actually talked to some of the top oil executives that make vegetable oil, and they do not want to make it. Like, they don't want to make it. They want to make better products. They know how bad it is. But like I said, it takes so long to get through the medical things. Like back in or whatever year it was when they were doing the research, they said that vegetable oil was better for your heart and stuff like that. And this is from another podcast I listened to. The doctor that did this research, he looked, and he did it all over the world, and he looked, and he never actually ever found proof. There's no proof of this. So like all your margarines and your heart health stuff, and they know it's not good for you. The Heart and Stroke Foundation funding, doing all this research, and they don't want to go back on what they've been saying for so long. It's still on some of the packages. They know it's bad for you. But it just takes it's the doctors. It's taking so long for it to get through to the top doc. Well, they're not top doctors. They're politicians basically, to get through them to have the proof. So another podcast I was listening to, she's a doctor in this. I don't know if she's actually a doctor in the States now. She was a doctor over in the UK, and she can't believe some of the stuff that goes on over here. Over there, a lot of the countries, you have to prove that it's safe for you. Here, you have to try to prove that it's not safe for you, and you're going such against the big industries, and it's so hard to do that. So it takes so long to get through the processes. And it's horrible. Like, it's in so much of our kids' foods, like your cereals, everything, your Twinkies, stuff like that. I don't want to get off on a tangent like I normally do, so I'm trying to stay on just the oil. So in this podcast too, I was listening to her, and that's part of the obesity and everything like that, and all these childhood chronic diseases. It's literally changing our DNA as we eat it. They have done the research, and people that work on fryers or in restaurants using these vegetable oils, cooking with it, just inhaling the fumes, it's literally destroying the DNA as you're inhaling it. So it's literally changing the human body. What are we going to turn into if you're eating this stuff? Like, your kids, like, look what's happening around the world. You might think you're eating healthy, but you're not reading the ingredients on stuff. just because it says healthy, or there's so many different things, like um, it's not all healthy. It's just ridiculous. Like, it angers me. Like, it's just eat whole foods. It's better to eat beef, your vegetables. Even if if you can't afford organic or whatever, vegetables are better than buying these chips and stuff like that. Like, with all these dyes in it, dye 40, I believe it was dye number 40, is proven to cause neurological damage. It's like literally burning your brain, like, yeah, burning your brain cells, your wiring and stuff like that. So kids with ADHD and all, and asthma, or sorry, well, asthma too, but autism and stuff like that, it's all because of our diets. We have to do better for with our kids, because like I said before, literally what you eat is what your cells and your body is made out of. So it's literally changing your DNA inside. And a part of this podcast that I didn't write down, but oh, excuse me, a part of the podcast was about how it's changing the fat. Like, it's actually literally changing your fat cells. So it's making it harder, because it's not normal fat anymore. It's chemical fat, and it's toxic. So when you burn it, when it actually burns, it's letting off all them chemicals inside your body, and it's just destroying your body. And that's another part of all these chronic diseases that these kids are all having, and adults. Like, being morbidly obese when you're a child is just insane. And then you let them sit around and do nothing or play video games. It's just horrible. Your kids should be outside playing. We're so afraid to let our kids play anymore. Like I said before, I used to climb trees. I never broke a bone or nothing like that from doing that stuff. But I mean, sometimes it was pretty scary. But you have to let your kids go out and play, and possibly get hurt playing. You'd never want your kid to be hurt by a car or something like that. But that's a totally different thing. You got to go get normal war scars, I guess you could call them. That way they can grow up to be stronger and healthier. They need to play in the dirt and get sand and whatever else. It all starts right from the time you're born. When you come out, like when the child comes out of their, as long as like a regular birth, not C-sections stuff, but when they're inside, it's completely sterile. But as soon as they're on their way out, as soon as they start coming out, they're getting the different types of bacteria from the outside of the womb and stuff like that, and feces and whatever else might be around. Dirty, well, they're clean hands, but there's still some kind of bacteria. Even if you think it's something sterile, it's not. But anyways, I'd like everybody to like and share, and subscribe to this video. And the name of the doctor is, sorry, I changed the page. I gotta find her. Dr. Kate Shanahan with a C. Kate with a C. And like I said, she is a doctor. And the book is called Dark Calories. And if you wanted to find the podcast, it's the Model Health Show by Sean Stevenson. And you could listen to the whole thing. It's about an hour and a half or something like that. That's where I get a lot of my information. And I listen to other things too. All right, so yeah, like, share, subscribe, let people know. Have a great day.